Here to talk to you about a couple of things for our upgrade. Most of the stuff is cosmetic, just some minor enhancements. First thing I want to point out to you are some things in our patient information bar. First thing I have right here is in our call log. If I go ahead and click on this guy, basically what we're looking at right here, all the calls a patient might have called in the past. So right in here, our patient call history. Okay, right up here, we've renamed our PHI log to the HIM log. Just a little confusion as to what that was there for, so we thought that might clear up some of the confusion. Okay, the next thing I want to point out is over here, if you notice this little guy has an exclamation point by it, notice that it is a teen patient. And so one thing that is on the horizon here is we do have something that we are referring to as sensitive encounters. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and point out this sensitivity settings. This will be selected by providers only. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and just show you what that looks like. So it's sensitive encounter, suppress auto send to patient portal, suppress outreach actions, do not print encounter on statements. And so what this does basically is allow us to treat this patient like any other patient. We can put vitals in, we can put reasons for visit in here, we can go ahead and submit labs, we can do prescriptions, and so there's a lot of thought that has gone into how this has been done. And so we're still working on it. This may or may not be ready to go live by the time October 22nd comes, but it's on the horizon, so just something to think about. If you have any questions at the end of this, go ahead and type some stuff into the chat window, or you can go ahead and talk out loud at the end of this visit. Yeah, so anyway, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull up another patient. So let me go ahead and pull up Donald here. All right, the other thing here in our patient information bar, if I hover over here on the appointments, you'll notice that we have a couple more options on here. We have 2 appointments in the past, 3 appointments in the future. This is actually an enhancement. We've got a few more options on here. I'm going to go ahead and click on intake on this guy. And what we're looking at here is my patient actually has Down syndrome, and so if I click on my graph here, it is showing me my Down syndrome graphs for my boy here. And if I click here on the weight, it'll go ahead and adjust my weight. This is also for our premature patients as well. Just so you guys know, this does have to be modified in our birth history. So I have to click on this and I'll just show you where this gets marked off. This gets marked off right here under the birth history. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to change my provider here just to make my 6-point check right. And I'm going to go ahead and pick a new patient. All right, let's go ahead and pick on Daisy. All right, so here on Daisy, I'm going to go ahead and go into my histories. And here on my histories, the first thing I want to point out is here under office services, we have renamed what used to be standing orders, right? So there's a couple of providers that had issues with it being called standing orders because technically there's some standing orders in there, but not all of them are standing orders. So no more standing orders, is now office services. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this guy here, and I would like to point out to you this search option right here. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, you notice I've been playing around in here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the search option. So I'm going to go ahead and click in here, and I'm going to type in urine. Do not click enter on your keyboard. You will regret it. I promise. I'm going to go ahead and click my magnifier, and if I scroll down Here's my urine pregnancy test. And if you notice, the diagnosis is already in there. So here under interpretation, I can go ahead and let's make her pregnant this time. Okay, so here she is. She's positive. I'm going to go ahead and click place order. Ta-da! I went ahead and I did it. I didn't have to do this and then that and then this. So I already did my lab. I'm done. Okay, so that was one. I am on my medical surgical interim. Okay, so on my medical surgical interim, okay, so I want to go ahead and click here on the add button. If you notice, I have my specialty right up here set to family practice. You can potentially change this to other specialties. I'm going to go ahead and point out our new feature right here, which is this search button, because you can tell that this is like super narrow. But I am going to go ahead and search right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click again my magnifier. Do not click enter. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to scroll a little bit because I don't like any of those. None of them make me happy. Ooh, encephalitis, that's always a good one, right? So I pick on this guy, I add to grid. I always feel bad for my test patients. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come down here and I'm going to go ahead and pick on this guy and let's click again. And I'm going to pick on this and again add to grid, right? Nice. So that's a nice little feature there. That way you're not like plus and trying to like search through stuff. So the little search guy is your friend. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK, right? Nice. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so the next thing I want to point out, super duper minor features, but they kind of just came in here and it's like they rearranged your stuff. It's like going into your living room and they like move the lamp and stuff. Like they moved the buttons around, like from here, they moved these up here and then they moved the stuff that was here over to this side over here. And then they moved the stuff that was down here over to this side. It's really funny how they did that. But anyway, I don't know what their thinking was around it, but anyway, they moved some stuff around in here, but functionality all the same. Okay, so that's it for that guy. So next I'm going to just close these guys and get them out of the way so I can talk to you about tasking. So tasking is not different. Basically, you're going to still select tasking. What has changed is the tasking teams. You're still on a tasking team. I know you guys are kind of like, woo, tasking. I'm not on a tasking team, but yes, you are. So what we've done is we've created a tasking med team and a tasking team. So basically what we did was, or what, not what we did, was NextGen basically gave us the security that we required to give the providers prescribing delegates. Previously what was happening was we had a group of nurses instead of each provider having their own prescribing delegates, and that's what we needed to have to be more secure, and that's why this was a requirement. So I know it's not cute, a little bit of extra stuff to scroll through, but if you don't know how to add a favorite, this is how you do it. You highlight it, you click this little guy, you add it as a favorite, and then it lives up here. Look, do like this, now it's up here, now it's your favorite. So that's how you do it. You remove it by clicking that guy. So that's how that gets done. Okay, so not a whole lot else to show you on the EHR side. We will be out in the clinics. If you guys have any questions, type them in the chat window. We'll be here to answer your questions at the end of this. All right, thanks. Have a good one.